Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts, hold on tight. You're for one crazy ride tonight on the Josh Nolan Full Throttle Racing Show. Hashtag one on YouTube. Tonight we have with us Mitchell Bard. Welcome to the show, Mitchell.
Thank you, Josh.
Let's talk about your racing career. Where did it all start for you?
Started, I don't know, I was like 10 years old. Started out racing quarter midgets, which some of the bodies are hanging up there behind me. Some posters, stuff like that from there. Raced that for about 5 years. Moved up into the 600 microsprint ranks. Did that, and then we decided to hit the road and raced in Pennsylvania a lot. We went to the Tulsa Shootout the last 2 years. And then newly this year, we switched over and built a 350 modified.
Okay. How much success have you had as a race car driver?
It all depends.
Yeah,
I mean, we've had our fair share of, we've had a couple wins here and there in each division, except for the modified. We've got about 8 shows in that. But micro, we've won a decent amount. We fared pretty well on some of the larger stages. We've been both times there. We've been maybe he's out there in the wingless. Winged, we haven't fared too well. The modified, our best run so far has been about, I think, 12th. We went 20 to 12th or 24th to 12th. But like I said, very limited laps in that. We're just trying to, learn and build on it. So we're excited to get after it this season for sure.
Okay. How do you celebrate your victories?
It's usually a short, sweet celebration, and then it's straight back to the drawing board. You know what I mean, to focus on the next one. I mean, obviously, we always keep those good run, bad run, doesn't matter. We just team does it. But quick celebration at the track, load up, get back, get everything turned around for the following week.
Okay. What's an awesome day at the racetrack look like for you?
I've always said anytime we can go to the racetrack and learn. If you go there and you learn something, it's not, to me, it's not really about win or lose anywhere. You know what I mean? It's whether we learn. If we can learn anything or progress moving forward to continue to build on. I mean, racing is all about building blocks, right? Each and every week you'll learn something new, and as long as you're having a good time, right? That's the other big thing. If you're having fun and you're learning, that's an ideal night for me. You know what I mean? As long as everyone will always try for sure, but I mean, that's part of the sport. We don't always get to do that.
Okay. Mitchell, you're breaking up quite a bit.
Did I lose you?
Yo, Mitchell? Yeah, you're breaking up quite a bit there.
Still got you, Josh?
Yeah, Mitchell. I can hear you, Mitchell. You're breaking up quite a bit, though.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Okay, go back to
it for a minute.
Yeah. going back to that, okay, because you broke up quite a bit there. How many victories do you have in your career again?
Um, I'd say total all throughout from the time I started on up. Feature wins is anywhere around, I'd say maybe just shy of 20.
Okay. Um, and okay, what's an awesome day at the racetrack? Because you were breaking up on that one too.
Yeah, so an awesome day at the racetrack for us is like I was saying, anytime we can learn something. It's obviously always a plus if you can roll the car into the trailer at the end of the night. But for us, as long as you're there and you're having fun and you can learn something to move into the following week and continue to build your notebook and bring more success as you continue to grow. That's what the nights are about for me.
Okay, what's an awesome day at the race shop look like for you?
I spend a lot of time out here. We're actually out here right now, um, and there's always a lot to be done. But again, it's all about if we can put those things that we learned at the racetrack to good use and have time spent wisely per se. If we don't always get, obviously we all work full-time jobs. I'm a dad, so it's tough for me to put in as much time as I really like out here, and it's starting to dwindle down. So luckily, we're starting to get some more hands in the pot that'll be an extra set on the car and whatnot, and hopefully bring their knowledge as well to the table for us. But I guess any day, I usually have my kids out here in the shop with me, and I love it most times. My 3-year-old daughter is usually out here with us quite often, and seeing her enjoy the sport has been great for all of us, my dad and myself alike. So
Okay, what is the story behind your racing number? Where did that come from?
the number, to be honest with you, I don't even know. Um, it just it's a number I've always liked. It was a number I had on my jerseys when I played sports back in school, and it's kind of just built off that, I guess. I don't really know where it came from. Um, I took my favorite number, threw a B on it, and let it ride.
Okay, so what is your number?
It's 7B.
Okay, who do you have for sponsors on your racing team?
Last year we had quite a few new and pretty great partners. Um, we had Doug Doolin with Honeywell Auto Parts. He came on. He's been on with us for the last few years. Started micro racing, and he stuck with us as we ventured into the modifieds. We had newly newly joined. We had Crack House Pub, which is a local bar around here. Heather was great, and we had Mullen TV Outdoors, which is a good friend of mine. Just a YouTube channel kind of deal, and he helped out tremendously this year. Not just hands on and financially, but anywhere he could, he was there to help. Um, we had my uncle Mike came back on board with his Game Hog Hunt Club and Merc Squad Media, so that was good to have him. We had Tyler Striffler with TRS Windows and Doors. My first time having him on board as well. Um, Obviously, Mapboard Motorsports is our number one sponsor usually, which is my father. He owns the business. I'm co-owner, um, and obviously the driver. And then we had a couple small product sponsors. People helped us out wherever they could. And then we had Rolling Hills Ranch. Um, which is a her friend own local here. My uncle Tom and my grandfather actually helped me get the power plant this year as we moved up. So it was this year we would have been dead in the water without them. So definitely appreciate each and every one of those people.
Okay, are you presently looking for more sponsors?
We absolutely are. Yeah, I don't know. I just finished up a little sponsorship pamphlet type deal, and I've been working on social media and trying to grow my brand. So I'm not 100% sure yet at this time who's coming back on board that we had last year. We'd like to have them all back for sure, and definitely more. The more partners that we're able to work with, obviously grows what we're able to do on and off the track. So any resources that we can get from marketing and partnering with a new company is always something we're looking forward to. So yeah, absolutely.
How does one get a hold of you to sponsor you?
What's that?
How does one get a hold of you to sponsor you?
They can get a hold of us on our Facebook page at Map Art Motorsports. They can reach out to my cell number, which is listed right on Map Art Motorsports. Our email's on there. Everything's on there. They get a hold of myself, Mitchell, or my father, Matt. Both numbers should be listed right there on our Facebook page.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to get to know Mitchell better, reach out to Matt Bard Motorsports on Facebook, or if you'd like to sponsor him, reach out to him that way. Okay, what is your favorite racetrack you've ever raced on?
It's a lot. I think on 23 different racetracks, just dirt. So just in my dirt career, so from the micro sprints and the modifieds, I've been on 23 different racetracks. It's tough to pick a favorite. There's some of them that have really good surfaces that put on good racing. There's ones that have great facilities. So it all depends. I mean, right here, local to me, actually has that's always a good one to go to. And every time you're there, it's televised. It's always the atmosphere is great. Tulsa Shootout, the atmosphere there is just unbelievable. And that racetrack's actually really cool too. But to say I could pick a favorite, I don't think it, as right now. I haven't been on enough of them, like more than another. You know what I mean? Kind of usually we choose and jump around. We have in the past anyway. Most of our seasons, we only got to race maybe 8 to 14 times at most. We don't, we usually haven't been able to put together a whole season, and we plan on doing that moving forward, at least into 2026.
Okay, what is your home racetrack you race on?
So this past season and coming up this year, Saturday nights is going to be at Fulton Speedway with a 358, and then we're going to run select shows now that Rome Speedway here in New York also went to small blocks on Friday night. We may venture there. I'm not going to say weekly, but we'll be there as much as we possibly can. It all depends on funding and stuff like that. So whatever time's allotted and whatever our financials look like is going to depend on what we're doing for weekly. But I know for sure we're going to try to run for points on Saturday nights.
Okay, out of all the wins in your racing career, what has to be your favorite win?
I would say the first time being the first ever winner at Brewerton Speedway in the wingless 600 was pretty cool. We did that, I believe, was last year, not the past season. So in 2024, I believe that happened.
All right. Do you have a racing nickname?
Yeah, actually, my nickname's been Short Bus. That's been my number one thing. And actually, if you don't mind, I'll take you over here and show you the logo quick that I run on my race car.
Oh, boy. Very cool.
That's been like in my fire suit over here. I'll take you over here and show you that. That says it's got Short Bus on it as well. It's been my nickname for many years, and it's a weird story on how it came about. My graphics guy, Jim Ryer, he's one of the best here in the Northeast. He's with Race Rap Group, and we've been really good friends. I don't know, dating back to pretty much when we started. He's another actually really good sponsor that I forgot. We've been working with him, like I said, probably the last 14 years or so. And we've become a great friend. So I had a health issue back in like 10th grade. they took me out of school, and I had to end up riding the short bus. And my grades weren't really ever good. My dad would always tell me I couldn't race if my grades weren't good, and I just didn't apply myself in school. I was always focused on the race cars and being in the top all the time and stuff like that, which any kid needs to know. Obviously you need to do your schoolwork. That's going to pay the bills afterwards. So get your education, finish that off, but definitely any other spare time you have, focus on the racing. So he came up with this whole deal about, he just called me short bus one day, and it stuck. And then I ended up with window stickers, and they were plastered all over vehicles around the area. And everyone was putting them in their shops and their race cars and everything else. And then next thing you know, it's on my helmet, it's on my fire suit, it's on my race cars, it's everywhere. And it's just kind of stuck. So then I do a little bit of chassis setup and helping people with the micro sprints, because I did get pretty well at those around here, and I learned a lot. And I started helping other people, so that's when that short bus speed secrets thing came up. That's like the chassis setup and driver development deal that I started a couple of years back.
All right. Okay. When you're out there racing on dirt, do you like a wet, heavy track, a dry, dusty track, or right in the center?
It all depends. In the micro, I always used to like do a big cushion. Beat the fence down the whole time was fun. In the modifieds, we're on coils now. I really don't like when it's wet and heavy. Everyone's fast. You know what I mean? It doesn't take any skill to drive that. It's just foot to the floorboard and drive it. Which is, don't get me wrong, it's fun sometimes, but if you get stuck starting in the back of a heat race and it's wet and hammer down, you're stuck there. You know what I mean? It's hard to move around and pass. And like I said, everyone's fast and everyone's good when it's wet. So I guess prime racing conditions for me would be maybe a little tack around the bottom, like thin, and then slick to a decent top. I definitely like a multi-groove track, and I've always been a top guy. If the top's there, you'll find me there. I promise you that.
Okay. What do you like to do for fun outside the racetrack?
I work about 50 hours a week right now. And then when I'm not doing this stuff with the race cars, I'm making sure my kids have fun, because I get to have my fun when I'm racing. So I focus on the family usually as much as I can when I'm not working or race car stuff. That's what I'm doing.
All right. Who's your racing hero?
It's tough. I've watched all discipline racing from all throughout my career here. I'd have to say Danny Johnson would be one of them, for sure. I actually had the opportunity to work for him when I was like 12 years old, and that's really what got me involved in the modifieds around here locally in New York. So I got to learn a lot from Danny, working with those guys, and then watching him race growing up was great.
All right. Who's all on your racing crew?
Right now, it's just pretty much me and my father. We've always traveled. It's just me and my father. Occasionally, my cousin Josh will be allowed to come and help out with us, as long as time allots for him. He races as well, so it's difficult. My Uncle Tom comes as much as he can, and we always appreciate having him around. And then newly this year, it hasn't been released yet to anybody, but we do have a new car chief coming on board with us.
Okay. All right. Is there any big races you're looking forward to racing in coming up?
Not many schedules have been released for us yet around here to put together a full schedule for next year. Definitely a few events I'm looking forward to next year it's going to be our first shot at Super Dirt Week at Oswego. We'll do that early October next year. I believe the dates have been released for that. And then the rest of the schedule, I really don't know what it looks like yet until they release them, which should be in the coming weeks, I'd imagine, or maybe just after the first of the year. I would imagine they probably have them released, and then we'll be able to release our schedule based off Is what the tracks are doing.
What's your favorite part about working on the race car, or your favorite job? Sorry.
I think I lost you for a second there.
What's your favorite job working on the race car?
I've always had all of them. Pretty much every job I've always done. I've always been. I gotta wash it, which is my least favorite. I can't stand washing cars, but it's part of it. You know, if you're gonna play around and get it dirty, you gotta wash it. I've always had a passion for tires. Um, just doing all the prep of the tires, grooving, siping, sanding, pin disking, whatever you're doing to it. It's always a lot of fun. It's actually a lot more people think. That's always a fun job. Um, but I guess it's more rewarding for me that I do just about everything. I mean, I do chassis setup to, um, like I said, to tires, to driving it, to every last bit of maintenance. I do, and usually my daughter will help me with the washing procedure, so that's fun. Um, and then the rest of the maintenance usually comes whenever I get the time to do it. It's usually late at night, but nobody ever likes the hard, intensive stuff. Like taking out motors, trannies, rear ends, stuff like that. That's not fun usually. But I think the chassis setup is fun because it's rewarding. You know what I mean? So.
All right. Okay. What's when you're shepherding your race car, getting ready to go on the racetrack? What helps get you psyched up and motivated to go out and do this?
Usually I'm trying to calm myself down. Actually, it's such an adrenaline rush. I'm a firefighter as well. Um, Volunteer here local, and that's another adrenaline rush. I've always been an adrenaline junkie, right? Um, which is why I drive a race car and I run into burning buildings. It's just something I think is fun. A lot of people think I'm nuts, but yeah, usually anytime I sit down in the race car, I try not to get in too early, so that way I don't have a lot of time to get pain racked up and stuff like that. And I just want to sit there and relax for a few minutes. Just get in. Usually, once you strap in, all the nerves go away, everything's washed out, and then you're task at hand, which is obviously doing your job out on the racetrack. So,
All right. What's the best piece of advice you've gotten as a race car driver? Mitchell? Yo, Mitchell.
I think I lost you again, Josh.
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me now?
You still got me?
Yeah, I still got you. Can you hear me? Yo, Mitchell.
You got me, Josh?
Yep, I got you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you now.
Can you hear me? Okay.
I got you.
What's the best piece of advice? What's the best piece of advice you've gotten as a race car driver?
To stay humble. That's the biggest thing. You know what I mean? There's a lot of highs and lows in the sport, and for even the best of drivers, you're going to have more downs than you do highs. You know what I mean? You're not going to win every race. So just take everything and take everything. As long as, like I said, it's back to the learning, right? Take every piece out of every night that you possibly can, good or bad, and just build from it.
Okay, what kind of advice would you give a new race car driver?
Probably that same thing. That's the biggest piece, and I push that on every driver. That, like I said, I do a little bit of driver development deal, and that's the same thing I give them. Good things are going to come with time. The more hands-on and
All
more
right.
involved you in your own program, the better off you'll be. I don't care if it's a 10-year-old kid, whatever it is. They need to make sure they're out in that shop. If you understand how your car works, you're going to be 10 times better just knowing the car ins and outs. So, um, that's another that's a great piece of advice that I'd push on to any new and upcoming driver.
All right. Do you have any crazy racing stories you'd like to share with us?
Not too many that I remember. I've had a lot of wild crashes, that's for sure. Um, which is probably why I can't remember anything. But yeah, I don't think I have too many super wild stories yet. Anyway,
Okay. What types of racing do you like to watch on TV?
I spent the last couple days watching the World Finals at Charlotte. Um, so I guess anytime I get to tune in and watch high limit sprint series or laws, um, that's usually the best racing that I've seen. And if I lived in sprint car country, that's probably where I'd be. I feel like I belong there. But unfortunately, I'm up here in modified country, so that's what I'm living with.
All right. Um, is there anybody else you'd like to thank you for helping you get this far with your racing career?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of people, a lot of competitors that are fellow competitors that I've raced with. That anytime you get to race with a lot of these people, you get to you build off of them, you feed off of them. So a really good friend of mine is Dave Marchicelli. I've learned a ton from the Marchicelli boys. Um, they're phenomenal people, phenomenal family. I've got to feed a lot of bounce a lot of stuff off each other, and that helps out a lot. Like I said, Doug Doolin with Honey Oy, um, he's been a great supporter. My dad, my mom, um, my fiance, um, my grandma and grandfather, my uncle Tom. He's been a huge supporter for many years. Um, and a lot of partners have come and gone. And I definitely am I'm definitely looking to build a couple partnerships that'll last a while. So for sure, if there's anybody out there, if this video reaches anybody, that wants to partner up, definitely get a hold of me. There's a lot of great plans, a lot of things that we plan to come, and a few things we might need just a little bit of help with financially, but we'll definitely get there.
All right. Okay, at this portion of the show, Mitchell, I like to turn the mic over to my guest. If you have a couple of questions you'd like to ask me, you can ask me a couple of questions.
Um, I don't think I really have any questions for you. I definitely appreciate your time and bringing me on here. That's greatly appreciated.
Okay, who are some of your friends at the racetrack?
Um, I've always said I'm not really there to make friends, but there's a ton of friends that we have. Obviously, especially around here, I got a lot of family that goes. Like I said, my cousin Josh, he races. Um, my buddy Mike Fowler, my buddy Austin Germinio, the Manitas, Cody Manita, Frank Manita. Um, a lot of the modified guys and I get along great. Zach Payne, Dalton Slack, um, Matt Caprera, Kyle Devendorf. There's a lot of really good dudes up here in the Northeast that are in the pit area every week. So if you're ever up here and in the area around Fulton Speedway, Wheatsport Speedway, whatever, definitely stop through and don't be afraid to swing in just about anybody's trailer. And I'm sure they'll be willing to talk to you.
Alrighty. Well, Mitchell, I would like to thank you for being on our racing show tonight, talking to us about your racing career, getting to know you a little bit better. I will have you step out and I will call you, but to thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it very much.
Yep, not a problem. That was Mitchell Baird on our racing show tonight, talking to us about his racing career. If you'd like to get to know him better, reach out to Matt Baird Motorsports on Facebook. If you'd like to get to know Mitchell better or sponsor him, reach out to him there. Or if you'd like to sponsor our racing show or be on a racing show, feel free to call us or text us at 712-209-7138. Before I let you go, congratulations to Riker Tubes for picking up the preliminary win on Friday night at Port City. Congratulations to Riker. Uh, Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that's about all the racing news I have for you right now. But you guys have a good night and catch you later on another episode of the Josh Allen Full Throttle Racing Show. Hashtag